The First Dynasty of ancient Egypt marks a pivotal period in the country's history, beginning around 3150 BC and lasting until 2890 BCE. This era saw the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under the leadership of Pharaoh Narmer, also known as Menes. Narmer is credited with this unification, an event documented by the Narmer palette, which shows him wearing the crowns of both regions, signifying his rule over a united Egypt. Narmer also established the city of Memphis as the new capital. This strategic location served as the administrative and political hub, facilitating the governance of the newly unified country. During this time, the concept of the pharaoh as a living god emerged, solidifying the centralized power and stability of the monarchy. Hieroglyphic writing, which began developing in the pre-dynastic period, became more standardized and widely used for religious and administrative purposes during the First Dynasty. This system of writing was crucial for recording history and important events. The First Dynasty also laid down royal traditions that persisted throughout ancient Egyptian history. This included royal titles, symbols, and religious rituals that reinforced national identity and pride. Pharaoh Aha succeeded Narmer and is known for conducting military campaigns to expand his influence. Aha's efforts in establishing new settlements and enhancing internal security were significant for the consolidation of power. Agricultural advancements were another hallmark of this period. Improved irrigation techniques and the development of an intricate system of canals and dams increased agricultural productivity, contributing to economic stability. Pharaohs Jur and Jet, who followed Aha, continued to strengthen the monarchy and expand Egypt's administrative boundaries. The First Dynasty's contributions to political, religious, and social systems laid the foundation for the enduring civilization of ancient Egypt. In the dawn of Egypt's history, a powerful leader named Narmer, also known as Menes, ascended to prominence. Narmer wore the double crown, symbolizing his achievement in unifying Upper and Lower Egypt around 3150 BC. This unification was pivotal, marking the genesis of a centralized, potent government. Narmer's path to unification was arduous. He hailed from Upper Egypt, the fertile lands of the south, where the Nile carved a ribbon of life through the desert. However, the Nile Delta, forming Lower Egypt, was equally vital, with its sprawling marshlands and access to Mediterranean trade routes. The two regions, though culturally intertwined, had long existed as separate entities. Narmer, a shrewd and ambitious leader, recognized that the prosperity of Egypt hinged on the unity of these two lands. His campaign was not merely a quest for power but a visionary pursuit of stability and shared prosperity. In a series of decisive military maneuvers and astute diplomatic actions, Narmer began to weave the fabric of a unified Egypt. Archaeological artifacts, like the renowned Narmer palette, immortalized this epic. This ceremonial palette, discovered in Hieroglyphic, depicts Narmer wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt and the red crown of Lower Egypt, symbolizing his dominion over the unified regions. One side of the palette shows Narmer striking down his foes, a sign of military conquest, while the other side displays various symbols of unity and divinity. The implications of Narmer's unification were profound and far-reaching. For the first time, Egypt boasted a centralized administration with the pharaoh at its helm, embodying both political and religious authority. This centralized power facilitated the development of sophisticated institutions, advances in art and architecture, and the establishment of enduring cultural traditions. The Narmer palette, a decorated stone slab dating back to around 3100 BC, stands as a crucial artifact marking the dawn of recorded Egyptian history. This richly adorned palette showcases Narmer, a king of ancient Egypt, wearing the crowns of both Upper and Lower Egypt. This dual representation signifies his pivotal role in unifying the two regions, a monumental achievement in Egyptian history. The intricate carvings on the palette vividly portray various scenes of Narmer's military triumphs. One side reveals Narmer wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt, grasping a fallen enemy, symbolizing dominance and conquest. The other side depicts him with the red crown of Lower Egypt, participating in a victory procession, further emphasizing the union of the two lands. Both sides of the palette are resonant with imagery that illustrates Narmer's power and his divine endorsement by the deities. Figures of gods and mythical creatures interlace with the scenes, underscoring the belief in divine support for Narmer's rule. The Narmer palettes' craftsmanship and iconography are extraordinary for its time, and it remains a vital document for historians and archaeologists. It offers a window into the early state formation, religious beliefs, and artistic conventions of ancient Egypt. The palette is not just an artifact but also a storytelling medium that encapsulates the narrative of a pivotal moment in human history. It provides insight into the political, cultural, and religious milieus of early dynastic Egypt, making it an indispensable piece for understanding the origins and early development of one of the world's oldest civilizations. In the pre-dawn light of a new era, Pharaoh Narmer gazed upon the vast expanse of the land where the mighty Nile River divided into two, creating a fertile delta. He stood at the juncture of Upper and Lower Egypt, a land teeming with potential yet marked by centuries of division. His thoughts carried the weight of his monumental task, unifying these regions into a single, cohesive entity. The symbolism of this union was not lost on Narmer as he envisioned Memphis, the city that would become the heartbeat of a unified Egypt. Narmer's decision was strategic, informed by both geography and politics. Situated at the apex of the Nile Delta, Memphis offered an unparalleled position for administration and governance. It was a gateway between the two lands, serving as a bridge over the divides that had long separated the people. This location also provided fertile lands and a prime position for trade, ensuring the prosperity essential for a thriving capital. As architects and workers swarmed the chosen site, the hum of construction filled the air. Under Narmer's guidance, they laid down foundations that would stand the test of time, erecting palaces, temples, and administrative buildings. Symbolic of unity, the city's layout melded elements from both Upper and Lower Egyptian cultures. Its temples honored gods revered across the entire nation, further solidifying the spiritual and cultural unity Narmer sought to achieve. Within the newfound capital's walls, Narmer established a central government that could efficiently manage the United Territories. He instituted reforms in administration, set up a centralized bureaucracy, and initiated building projects that reflected the grandeur of his vision. Memphis quickly grew into not just a political hub but also a center of culture and commerce, attracting traders, artisans, and scholars from all corners of the unified kingdom. Each brick lane was a testament to Narmer's ambition and foresight. In the ancient kingdom of Kemet, a unique system of governance flourished under the revered title of the Pharaoh. This strong monarchy was not just a political entity but held profound theological significance. The pharaoh was seen as a living god, a divine figure who stood as the intermediary between the gods and the people on earth. This divine kingship was integral to the centralization of power, making the pharaoh both the religious and political leader. Such a system contributed immensely to political and social stability across the land. The perception of the pharaoh as a godlike figure invoked not only respect and obedience but also a sense of unity and shared purpose among the people. This centralized power ensured that the pharaoh could mobilize resources efficiently, enact laws, and carry out large-scale projects, such as the construction of pyramids and temples. As a result, the country's infrastructure and cultural achievements flourished, with the monarchy serving as the backbone of its enduring legacy. The development of hieroglyphic writing is a fascinating journey back to the early days of human civilization in ancient Egypt. Emerging during the pre-dynastic period, this writing system was initially in rudimentary forms, with symbols gradually representing more complex concepts and objects. It was not until the First Dynasty, a time of consolidation and unification, that hieroglyphic writing became standardized and widespread across the land. Hieroglyphs were more than just an artful expression, they were the lifeblood of both religious and administrative realms. In the sacred temples, priests meticulously inscribed prayers, rituals, and hymns onto the walls, preserving spiritual beliefs and practices for posterity. These religious carvings were believed to carry divine significance, channeling the gods' power through the faithfully recorded words. Outside the temples, hieroglyphs played a crucial role in administration. Scribes were the literate elite, trained to record taxes, census data, and decrees from the pharaoh. Their documentation was pivotal in maintaining the burgeoning state's order and organization. The mastery of hieroglyphic writing required years of dedicated study, making scribes highly respected figures. Moreover, hieroglyphs provided a means to document history and significant events, immortalizing the deeds of rulers and the progress of society. The walls of tombs and monuments were adorned with elaborate inscriptions recounting the lives and achievements of the pharaohs, as well as myths and legends that shaped cultural identity. The Rosetta Stone, discovered centuries later, would become a key artifact in decoding this ancient script, unveiling the rich tapestry of Egyptian civilization. Through hieroglyphic writing, the ancient Egyptians left an indelible mark on the world, profoundly influencing subsequent cultures and offering a glimpse into a society where the written word was both a sacred covenant and a tool of governance. When Egypt was young and the sands of time had yet to sculpt the stories of pharaohs and pyramids, the First Dynasty emerged. It was a time of beginnings, when the notion of a royal lineage was still nascent, yet it laid the foundation for millennia of traditions that would shape the nation. These early kings, the first pharaohs, were more than mere men. They were considered gods on earth, divine stewards bestowed with the sacred duty of maintaining the cosmic order. Among these early rulers, King Narmer stands out, frequently credited with unifying Upper and Lower Egypt into a single, cohesive realm. His name would resound through history, etched in hieroglyphs whispered in ancient ceremonies, and immortalized on the Narmer palette, which depicts his victory. With unity came order, and with order came the birth of intricate royal traditions. Titles such as Pharaoh, derived from Per-Aa meaning great house, began to hold a mystical significance, conferring divine right and ultimate authority. Crowns and scepters adorned with symbols of power such as the uraeus cobra and the ankh became emblematic of their roles. Ceremonial rituals, often religio-political in nature, reinforced the pharaoh's divine status. These included the Heb-Est festival, meant to rejuvenate the king's strength, and the daily temple rites conducted to honor the gods and ancestors. The spiritual aspect was undeniable. The pharaoh was the high priest of every temple and the intermediary between the gods and the people. Through these rituals and symbols, a unique national identity was forged. The monarchy served as a source of immense pride, not just for the ruling elite but for the entire population. The annual inundation of the Nile, seen as the tears of the goddess Isis, was interpreted as a sign of divine favor, affirming the pharaoh's role in maintaining harmony and prosperity. The legacy of the first royal family is etched in the great stone monuments and the collective memory of a civilization that revered their rulers as embodiments of the divine. Their contributions to the national identity and cultural unity of ancient Egypt cannot be overstated, laying a foundation that would endure through dynasties, invasions, and the sands of time itself. Pharaoh Aha succeeded Narmer and is considered the second pharaoh of Egypt's First Dynasty. As a determined leader, Aha embarked on several military campaigns to expand his influence and solidify his control over the kingdom. His name, meaning fighter, was not just a title but an embodiment of his fierce determination and strategic prowess. Throughout his reign, Aha focused on founding new settlements to bolster the kingdom's stability and economic growth. His efforts were not limited to external conquests, as he also placed a significant emphasis on enhancing internal security. Under his leadership, the political and social fabric of early Egypt was strengthened, paving the way for future prosperity. Aha's legacy is marked by his relentless pursuit of power and his contributions to the foundation of one of history's most remarkable civilizations. During the First Dynasty, significant improvements in agricultural and irrigation techniques marked a revolutionary period. This era saw the development of an intricate irrigation system, which included the construction of canals and dams to effectively manage the waters of the Nile River. These advancements had a profound impact on agricultural production and the overall economy. By controlling the flow and distribution of the Nile's waters, farmers were able to cultivate larger areas of land with greater efficiency. The enhanced agricultural output not only ensured a stable food supply but also contributed to economic stability and growth. The surplus produce supported a growing population and facilitated trade, allowing the society to thrive and develop. The strategic management of water resources through these sophisticated irrigation techniques demonstrates the ingenuity and foresightedness of the early civilization in harnessing natural resources to improve their quality of life. Following the reign of Pharaoh Aha, Egypt saw a new era of expansion and architectural advancement under the leadership of Pharaohs Jur and Jet. These rulers not only strengthened the monarchy but also extended the administrative boundaries of Egypt, consolidating its power and influence. Pharaoh Jur, the immediate successor of Aha, embarked on numerous building projects that would mark his legacy. He commissioned the construction of temples dedicated to the gods, ensuring that religion remained intertwined with the state. His ambitious projects included grandiose funerary complexes that showcased the early progression of Egyptian architecture. These structures were not mere tombs, they symbolized the divine right of the pharaohs and their eternal link to the gods. As Jur's reign came to an end, his successor Jet continued this tradition of architectural and administrative expansion. Jet's era was marked by a continuation of temple building, with an emphasis on more sophisticated designs and larger complexes. The advancements made during his rule included improved construction techniques and the utilization of resources from newly conquered regions. Both Pharaohs Jur and Jet played crucial roles in the early dynastic period. Their efforts in building and solidifying Egypt's boundaries not only showcased their power but also laid down a foundation for the future pharaohs who would continue to elevate Egypt to new heights. The temples and funerary complexes they constructed became landmarks of their reigns, testaments to their contributions toward the state's consolidation and the architectural legacy they left behind. The combined legacies of Jur and Jet reflect a period of growth and stability, setting the stage for the grandeur that Egypt would eventually be known for. Their reigns are remembered for their dedication to the gods, the state, and the continuing advancement of architectural prowess and administrative efficiency. In the ancient land of Kemet, during the First Dynasty, a complex religious system emerged, heralding an age where the divine and the mortal intertwined in profound ways. At the helm of this system was the pharaoh, believed to be the living bridge between the gods and the people. This sacred intermediary played a crucial role in maintaining Ma'at, the divine order of harmony and balance. Worshipping a pantheon of gods, each embodying various aspects of life and nature, the people of Kemet sought to appease and draw favor from these deities through daily offerings and sacrifices. Temples, grand and meticulously constructed, stood as epicenters of religious activity. These sanctuaries were not just places of worship but also served as hubs of cultural and political stability. Religious rituals, often elaborate and steeped in symbolism, reinforced the divine authority of the pharaoh, reinforcing his or her role in the cosmic order. Through these practices, the pharaoh's rule was legitimized, and the populace was unified under a shared religious framework. From festivals honoring the Nile's inundation to daily rites performed by priests, every aspect of life in Kemet was touched by this intricate system of beliefs. The interconnected nature of religion and governance ensured that the pharaoh's divine right to rule was accepted and revered, creating a society where spirituality and statecraft were one and the same. The First Dynasty of ancient Egypt, lasting from approximately 3100 to 2900 BC, established the indispensable foundations of Egyptian civilization. During this seminal period, Egypt saw the consolidation of political power, the evolution of religious practices, and the structuring of a sophisticated social hierarchy. Politically, the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under the rule of the first pharaoh, Narmer, or Menes, marked a significant turning point. This centralized authority allowed for the creation of a cohesive state, with a standardized system of governance that would endure for millennia. The pharaoh was not only a political leader but also held a divine status, acting as an intermediary between the gods and the people. This divine kingship reinforced the religious and cultural unity of the nation. The advancement in religious practices during this era was profound. The First Dynasty laid the groundwork for the complex pantheon of gods and goddesses, as well as the elaborate rituals and temple constructions that characterized later periods. The concept of Ma'at, representing truth, balance, and order, became a central tenet of Egyptian belief, guiding the actions of both rulers and subjects. Socially, the First Dynasty heralded the development of a hierarchical society, with the pharaoh at the apex, followed by a class of nobles, priests, and officials, and a broad base of agricultural workers and laborers. This stratification facilitated the organization of large-scale projects, such as the construction of tombs and the development of irrigation systems, which were essential for the sustainability and prosperity of the civilization. Moreover, the innovations in art, writing, and architecture during this dynasty set the standards for subsequent generations. The early hieroglyphic script that began to take shape provided a critical medium for recording events, religious texts, and administrative documents. Overall, the contributions of the First Dynasty were not merely formative but transformative, setting a precedent for the enduring legacy of ancient Egypt. These foundational elements in governance, religion, social structure, and cultural achievements became the bedrock upon which future dynasties built an illustrious and enduring civilization.